What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Hugo Smokes. I'm your host, Hugo, and today I'm going to be smoking and reviewing this monstrosity of a cigar. It is the Wolfman from the Monster series of Tatuaje, and it is a 7.5 by 52, I believe. This cigar here in particular was inspired by the 1941 film of Wolfman. As we all know, the Monster series features monsters from different horror movies, right? So this one was released last year, and again, I am saving these cigars or smoking them a year after release because sometimes I hear that they're pretty rough at release, so I wanna let them simmer for a little bit. So, but the cigar is even though it's very huge, it's actually very nice. It's got like a rustic feel to it and a rustic look, semi-veiny, and it's got one of these shaggy foots. So it's missing the wrapper on that bottom section there of the foot, so you can see the binder. And this one is made up of a Ecuador Sumatra seed wrapper, and it's got a blend of Nicaraguan tobaccos for the binder and filler. The one thing I do want to mention is that even though there already is a Wolfman that was released prior to this, the Redux is basically a re-release, but sources say that it's got like a tweaked blend. So yeah, let me go ahead and cut it up and see what the draw is like. Pretty open draw. Ooh. Lots of soul earth on the cold draw, and on the finish it's like a peanut shell earthiness as well. Alright, so let me go ahead and get this thing lit up into the first third, and I'll be back for my first update. Welcome back. At the end of the first third of this Tatuaje Wolfman. Hey, construction is actually pretty good on this cigar. The ash was holding out and fell a little while ago. But overall, this cigar is pretty interesting. With 1 year rest, it's pretty palatable. Here in the first third, I'm going to give you two descriptions. One is going to be just with the shaggy foot without the wrapper, and then the other one would be with the wrapper itself. So without the wrapper, starting off on the palate, lots of peanut shell earthiness coming through, a sweet and sour note on the palate as well. It's reminding me of a sour fruit called tamarindo in Spanish. I think in English is tamarind, but I like that. It's very common in the Hispanic households. And then with the wrapper, bringing in some black pepper spice and citrus zest on the palate as well. And then here at the end, some floral on the palate as well. One thing is that actually it was on the retro. And here, before I was wrapping up the first third, there was like one or two puffs where I got like this very off-putting twang on the palate. I was almost going to toss the cigar, but then it cleaned up. So yeah, it's burning good now. On the retro, without the wrapper, it was actually very sweet on the retro. Some white pepper and lots of like twang funk on the sinus that was not very enjoyable. Not like a nice Dominican or Cuban twang. It was like very barnyardish type, very off-putting. But as soon as the wrapper came in, that changed. It brought in more sweetness in the form of latte on the retro. It's nice and creamy, and mixed in, with the pepper on the that was already present from the beginning, and the subtle sweetness. It's very nice. The retrohale sting started off 5 to 6 clicks out of 10, and now it's about 3 to 4, so it's medium minus minus. So it's not a bad cigar actually. Smoking it here with the Euro rest, it's very nice. Yeah, so let me keep smoking the cigar down past the second third, and I will be back for my next update. Welcome back at the end of the second third, and this Tatuaje is built like a tank. Check that nice burn line out. It's very straight, and the ash is holding on strong. And this cigar continues to be pretty interesting. Still developing here in the second third, mainly picking up cinnamon spice on the palate, a citrus zest that contributes to that spice. It's lingering, stays a little bit stinging on the tongue, on the lips, and still a little bit of that tamarind, sweet and sourness, which I really like. And before the the cigar finished off here, the second third, again got a nasty layer of like some type of funk, barnyard, or I don't know what the hell it is. It's very nasty, but then it cleans up. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it's a few tobacco beetles or something. Anyway, out of the retro, lots of cinnamon as well, pairing very well with that latte creaminess on the retro hail, which I love. I'm drinking coffee, so it pairs very well. The coffee probably accents or brings out that latte creaminess, and a significant amount of white pepper, still a little bit stinging on the sinus. It's currently like 2 to 3 clicks out of 10, so not that bad. Medium minus. For a Tatuaje, is very, very easy on the palate, on the retro, so not mad at that. And finally, some citrus spice to wrap up the retro pale profile. So overall, still enjoying the cigar, except for those off-putting layers that are like very minimal. So pretty curious to see if that's going to happen here at the end. Let me smoke the cigar down as far as I can, and I will be back for my final update and closing thoughts on this Tatuaje monster. Welcome back at the end of this Tatuaje monster, and the construction of this cigar is very good. Actually, I think the construction is going to save the rating on this cigar because it's been phenomenal throughout. Box dried for about 4 days. So today's Monday, since Thursday. So pretty good. And just, still continuation of the second third on the palate as far as like flavor notes. Very, very prominent on the cinnamon spice, mixed in with the citrus zest. And it's becoming a little bit roasty here at the end. On the background, still getting that funk that I don't really like. But, it's just on the background. And in every other puff, it becomes a little bit more pronounced up front. And on the retro, it increased a little bit now on the sting. It's medium plus, so 5 to 6 clicks out of 10, and lots of like black pepper spice lingering on the retro sinus. Still getting that latte creaminess, but it's minimal now, and definitely still that citrus zest also on the retro. So overall, I'm gonna rate this cigar. This would be like, for me, like a single or double pickup. Just a cigar that I would probably visit again, but not something I would chase after. The cigar has been burning here for just under 2 hours, an hour and 45 minutes. So for a 7.5 by 52, it burned pretty quick, but open draw. So and then kind of box press, soft box press, so it burns quick. The price point is $13 on these cigars, and they come in a coffin of 13 as well. So 170 for a box. Again, single or double pickup for me. Nothing that I would chase after. Even though I really like that cafe latte note, but just that funk that was very off-putting, right? And then not a Vitola that I usually pick up. I'm more of a thinner or smaller ring gauge. But yeah, I mean, if you were curious about the cigar, after a year, I think the strength on it really decreased based on other reviews that I saw last year. So definitely recommend you at least trying one of these now. So yeah, that's been my review on this Wolfman. If you've had this cigar before, let me know if you liked it. Let me know if you hated it. And as always, don't forget to sub to my channel. We got a podcast going on Wednesday nights. And check out the Patreon. I'll catch you guys on the next one.